Isn't this lag shot lady driver just beautiful? I mean, it's got that great looking shaft. It has a nice head shape, a nice deep face. We have to tee this up nice and high to make sure that we're able to catch this properly on the upswing. So as you're setting up for your driver, just pay attention to the fact that it is a very different club than your 7-iron, and your setup is appropriate for the actual driver club. Make sure that you also are teeing up with the ball position in the front of your stance. I'll show you a little trick. When you grip your lag shot driver, put your feet together towards the golf ball, center yourself, and then just take your trail foot and move it out. And then you can kind of settle in from there. But notice how the ball position is way up in the front part of my stance. This is where we want to hit driver from. For all of your irons, you can play the ball in the middle of your stance, but here we're taking a little wider stance. Ball position is up front. And of course, the tee height is up nice and high. So those are the key components to setting up with any driver, but just making sure we're checking those boxes before you dive in with your lag shot. One last check. When you have your setup ready to go, naturally make sure that your head is behind the golf ball. We don't want to be leaning over to that front leg too much. You just want to stay centered and allow your chest and head to feel as though it's set up behind the golf ball before you begin. This is a key component of being able to swing this club properly on plane and catch the ball late in the arc on the upswing. That's how we're going to hit our driver well. Now, specifically with the lag shot driver here, you can of course see how still it's very bendy, and the fact that it's longer and bendy makes it even more exaggerated feeling. The thing about driver is we're always going for distance over really anything else, and we want to be accurate. You want to try to hit fairways, but there's that mentality of, okay, driver, now I want to hit the ball as far as I can. With an iron, I certainly want to hit it good and straight and solid, but you have multiple different irons for different yardages that you can hit, maybe from 80 to 150 yards out from the fairway. You're using different clubs, but this is the only guy for the job, only gal for the job when it comes to hitting the ball as far as we can, right? So let's go ahead and make sure we're doing a few things that are going to maximize how far we can hit the ball with our driver, and of course as we train with the lag shot, just to make sure we're really reaching our potential. The first big checkpoint is range of motion. Are you making a full swing? What is a full swing? Well, a full swing includes a full turn. That means that your hips are going to be rotating approximately 45 degrees as your shoulders are rotating about 90 degrees from where they start. If you're not getting that full turn, chances are your arms are trying to get back all this way and you're going to experience some breakdowns, or you might stand up in the process of trying to make a long swing and ruin your posture and those angles between you and the golf ball. One thing that's key about understanding how we can create more lag in our swing is that we have to have a constant radius between us and the golf ball. If our radius changes, if our posture stands up, we actually almost need to throw away that lag to just get down to that golf ball. So if we stay in our posture, which is that bowed down, bent forward position, now as I rotate this club around me, I have a good chance of holding that lag angle and delivering it later as I approach the golf ball, and not springing up or standing up and then almost being on the hook to have to get rid of that lag too soon just to be able to make contact. That is definitely a distance killer, a lag killer, a swing killer. So let's make sure we're doing these few things correct. I'm going to go ahead and face down the line here, set up with my forward ball position, a good posture. And as I make my backswing, I'm not going to stand up. I'm going to stay in those body angles and try to avoid the lifting that I see so often. I'm going to make a full turn in my posture. I really want my lead shoulder to feel like it gets back behind the golf ball, almost as if my shoulder turn is placing my body where it's lined up over my back foot, and not anywhere near towards the golf ball. So let's get that lead shoulder to travel back and around, hands up of course nice and high, but at the same time just maintaining our posture as we turn and reach back around us. So this is what a full swing for driver looks like, and notice how the club is pointing back down the target line. It's not pointing towards the right or towards the left, crisscross the target line. So I have this great orientation of how I'm aiming, how I'm going to make my turn in my golf posture. Ooh, that was a good one. Nice little draw and everything. All right, so I'm gonna hit a few more for you and just demonstrate how this really looks and feels to coordinate the turn and the posture together. And that's really your first baseline that you want to check for as you're doing this. So one more from down the line, and then we'll give you the other camera view. So I'm settling in, I've got my ball position, posture, stay in my posture, big turn, and then let it go. Of course, I'm unwinding and really doing my best to get through the golf ball, keeping my arms soft, letting everything flow out in front of me in a very natural way, letting that lag just release as it comes down. From this front view, you're really gonna see how my ball position looks, my head's behind the ball, and here's my lead shoulder turning back behind the ball. Also notice, as I reach the top, how the weight of this club is pulling my wrist into that full hinge position. Now that I'm in my posture and I'm fully wound up, I'm gonna go to unwind it, and here comes out all that beautiful lag angle ready to give me some speed through impact. So put it all together. Great. So there's some driver basics for you to check on. Make sure your setup is good. Make sure you're getting a full turn to maximize how we can create the lag angle. And then also when we go to unwind it from there, we have lots of time to get rid of it. We don't have to be in a rush. The thing about short swings is if it's all arms, then of course we're on the hook to manipulate everything coming back down. Our body's not functioning for us to help us. Or if we make a very short turn, then we have a little bit of time only to get rid of that lag. We're not able to create the full speed that we could otherwise. If we give ourselves a longer arc, a big turn, there's all the time in the world to not rush anything and still maximize the speed of the club head moving out and that lag angle coming out on the way down. Remember, lag is the club head trailing. It's set way behind where the hands are and way behind the body. The body's leading, the body's unwinding, and then finally the club head takes its turn, and when it does, it receives all the speed coming through impact. So that is a huge first step in checking to make sure that you're set up for success with your driver, and of course that you really make sure that you're completing your swings, so you have maximum range of motion and maximum time to develop that lag, and then of course release that lag coming back down through impact.